What's up guys, XHOUNDISHx here, and today we had our article of this week at Bungie for the 23rd of June, and alongside this, a hotfix was pushed to Destiny. That is hotfix 2.3.0.1, technically speaking, but either way, to fix the issues that made Trials of Osiris and Iron Banner go away over the past week, or at least to attempt to fix the issue. Hopefully, what they're saying is that basically they think they've fixed it, they're putting this hotfix out, and if everything works out, we will see Trials of Osiris return tomorrow. They need to obviously make sure that the stuff is working, it's not going to cause problems, and if that is the case, we will also hopefully see the return of the Iron Banner next week, which would be absolutely awesome. So essentially what the problem boiled down to was the new players inactivity feature that Bungie added inside of the June update. That's where you can see what kind of players are in certain activities on your map and everything like that, which is a pretty cool feature, but essentially was causing issues with people who had a lot of friends on their list, or a lot of friends that were piled into certain activities at least. So essentially what they're doing is limiting the maximum of people that can actually appear in that list to 10. So hopefully that's going to resolve the problem, and we will see Trials of Osiris return tomorrow on the 24th, and Iron Banner the following week as well. So that's definitely good news. It's nice to know that something's been pushed out. There's only kind of less than a day now to actually check if everything's working, but if we're lucky, we will get Trials tomorrow. Bungie also went on to talk about the class balancing that we had inside of the June update, specifically for hunters, to kind of try and explain their motivations and reasoning behind some of the changes. And they actually provided this graph where we can see the KD ratios by subclass of players inside of the Crucible, and we can see that the Hunter, Blade Dancer and Gunslinger in particular are pretty high up there, and then we can see the other classes as we go. And this is actually the motivation, essentially the KD, average KD of people playing these subclasses. But I'd be curious as well to see the amount of people playing those particular subclasses, because maybe you'd have a tendency for more top tier players to use certain subclasses that other people didn't. I don't know if that's the case. That is just speculation, because we can't actually see the number of people playing particular subclasses, because I do find it pretty interesting that we're seeing such high KDs on Gunslingers and Blade Dancers in particular on this graph, and that to me would possibly suggest something about skill rating, because I wouldn't necessarily put myself on a Blade Dancer or a Gunslinger and feel like I was going to do loads better than a Night Stalker. We also had this from a guy called Grant, who works for the Crucible team. So when one class becomes the default choice for anyone who wants to do well in the Crucible, we see that that's a problem. We chose to bring the Hunters down from their position of dominance because it's our hope that every variety of Guardian will have a fighting chance. We've seen the common suggestion that we could add more power to less successful classes. Our concern is that this would eventually make the game way too lethal and chaotic overall. We want you to feel powerful when you're playing Destiny. At the same time, we want to make sure that you still have the time you need to react and make tactical decisions when you're engaged in combat. And then they said, have we been successful in bringing balance to Destiny? We'll know in time. While players adjust to the new normal in friendly combat, the data can be a bit erratic. As each Guardian settles into their role in the post-June sandbox, we'll be watching and listening. So class balancing is an ongoing thing. Things, will probably change again in the fairly near future, especially with Rise of Iron coming out. I would anticipate to see more changes. And this could be a good thing, because if they've maybe hit things too hard, at least by that point in time or some point before Rise of Iron, we could see things maybe balanced out a little bit better than they currently are or perceived to be at the moment. There's also a quick player support section talking about some things and issues that Bungie are still investigating. You can check that out. I will link the article in the description down below. But let me know, guys, any problems that you see inside of the Crucible or anything that has been resolved for you. That'd be pretty interesting. Hopefully we will get Trials and then Iron Banner next week. That would be ideal in these circumstances, that this patch, this hotfix has actually resolved the issue. But anyway, guys, drop a like on the video if it has been useful. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to hit subscribe for a lot more Destiny content. But for now, you guys have an awesome day.